Hello, welcome to Hacking with Dan. My name's Dan. Today we're going to go over 10 cybersecurity principles you need to know. Cybersecurity isn't just for IT professionals, it's for everyone. Whether you're running a business, working from home, or just browsing online, you're at risk of cyber threats every day. Today I'm going to give a high-level overview of the 10 cybersecurity principles you need to know to stay protected. Let's get started. Our first cybersecurity principle to cover is going to be the principle of least privilege. This means only giving users the minimum access that they need. The more access a user has, the more risk they pose for the organization. A good example is a marketing employee shouldn't have access to accounting and financial data. If their account is hacked, the attacker only gets limited access to marketing. Our second privilege is going to be defense in depth. If you're building a castle, one security measure isn't enough. You need layers. With your castle, you would want walls, guards, and a moat. An example of defense in depth would be using a firewall, antivirus, strong passwords, and MFA together for better security. Our third cybersecurity principle is going to be the principle of zero trust. Zero trust means never assuming a user or device is safe. Always verify. A good example of this is even if an employee logs in from their usual device, they still need MFA verification. A good tip is to use device verification and endpoint security tools for stronger zero trust policies. This will help with the creation of the policies and also with the enforcement and auditing of the policies on a device level. Our fourth cybersecurity principle is going to be patch and update regularly. Hackers love outdated software. If you don't update, you put yourself at risk for known vulnerabilities, thus making yourself a very easy target. One tip is to enable automatic updates for your operating system, browsers, and security software. If you're in an enterprise environment, there are plenty of tools to make managing this a feasible task. Our fifth cybersecurity principle is strong authentication. Passwords alone aren't enough. You need policies and strong enforcement of strong password requirements. You must combine this and use it with multi-factor authentication for extra security. Even if someone steals your password, if you have multi-factor authentication, they cannot complete the additional steps to complete the authentication process, thus saving you from malicious intent. One tip is to use passkeys or biometrics when possible for even stronger cybersecurity practices. Number 6 for our cybersecurity principle is ensuring secure configurations. This means default settings are a hacker's best friend, and you should always change them. A good example is changing the default admin credential on routers and disable any unnecessary services and ports on the device. You wouldn't believe how many devices still use default credentials and services. While it is good practice to change these in the initial deployment of equipment, it should routinely be audited to make sure that passwords are being rotated to ensure that the best cybersecurity practices are being enforced. One tip is to turn off any unused ports and services to reduce attack surfaces as well. For number 7 on our cybersecurity principles, user awareness and training. People are the weakest link in cybersecurity. Cybercriminals use phishing to trick users into giving up data. One example is an employee clicks a fake email, unknowingly giving hackers access to company data. Other examples include social engineering to obtain valuable information that they can use for malicious intent. One good tip is to conduct regular phishing simulations to train employees with quarterly awareness training as well. This will ensure that your employees have the knowledge needed to stay safe. For number 8 on our cybersecurity principles, we're going to look at incident response planning. Cyber attacks will happen. The real key is to be prepared when they do. An example is to have a disaster recovery plan, regular backups of all data, and an incident response team ready to respond to malicious intent by cyber attacks. One good tip is to have drills and to test your incident response plan team regularly with them. This ensures that everybody knows their roles and responsibilities and can react quickly to secure organizational data when incidents do occur. Number 9 for our cybersecurity principles is going to be network segmentation. Not all network traffic should mix. We should keep critical systems separate from public networks and make sure that traffic that is sensitive is ultimately protected. One good example is a business should always have separate Wi-Fi and networks for guests to prevent access to internal systems. These networks should be segmented and provide another additional layer of security for company data from outside threats. One good tip is to segment all your IoT devices onto a different network to limit exposure as well. For number 10 on our cybersecurity principles, we're going to look at encryption and data protection. Even if hackers steal your data, as long as it's encrypted, it makes the data very hard to read. One good example is to use encryption in your emails and cloud storage also to protect sensitive information. Another tip is to use end-to-end encryption for messaging and file transfers. One thing I also want to mention is, for ultimate data protection, this includes routine backups and testing of backups to make sure that data is ultimately recoverable when needed. That's going to be it for my 10 cybersecurity principles that you should know. Again, I plan on dedicating an individual video for all of the principles that we covered in this high-level video. That way we can refine our learning and gain an even better understanding of the principles and how to apply them to our organizations. Anyways, thank you for watching. I would like if you would comment on the video, like the video, and if you want more content, please subscribe. Any constructive feedback is greatly appreciated. Anyways, guys, have a great day.